So let's talk about how some of the wealthiest people on the planet think about money. We're going to unlock a mindset that lets them make these huge, clear-headed decisions, without all the emotional baggage that trips most of us up. And believe it or not, it all starts with something super simple, something you've probably got in your wallet right now.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Take a look at this $20 bill. Now, I've got a kind of weird question for you. What does this piece of paper, this money, actually think of you?
And the answer is, well, it's so simple, and that's exactly what makes it so powerful. It thinks absolutely nothing. Seriously, it has no opinion about you, your dreams, your bills, none of it.
I mean, when you really break it down, what is money? It's just a tool, right? It's a commodity we invented to swap for stuff we want and need. At the end of the day, it's just paper. It can't think, it can't feel.
And this really gets to the heart of it. All the problems we have with money, the stress, the anxiety, the greed, they don't actually come from the money. They come from us. The problem isn't with the money, it's with our relationship to it.
So if the money itself isn't the problem, then what is? Well, it's all the stuff we project onto it. It's our emotional barriers. Think about it. Whenever you see a dollar amount, your brain just automatically jumps to what it can get you, what it can buy, what problems it could fix, the kind of life it could unlock. We can't help but attach all our wants and needs to it. Okay, let's start small. 20 bucks. You see this and what do you think? Maybe lunch, a couple of coffees, a ticket to a movie. There's a little emotional connection there, sure, but it's pretty small, totally manageable. But what happens when we scale that number way up? How about $100,000? How does that feel? All of a sudden, the emotional stakes are way higher, right? Your mind just starts racing. A down payment on a house, a new car, wiping out your debt. The emotional weight just got a whole lot heavier.
And then, let's go to $1 million. Whoa. I mean, this number can bring up our biggest dreams and our deepest anxieties all at once. We think of total freedom, but maybe also the fear of losing it all. And here's the thing. The bigger the number, the stronger and more tangled up our emotional barriers become.
But here's the reality check. $1 million isn't some magical thing. It's literally just a giant stack of those $20 bills that, remember, think absolutely nothing of you. The material is the exact same. It's just the quantity that's changed.
So if getting emotional about money is the problem, what's the fix? Well, that leads us to this really powerful idea called the indifference mindset. Now, I know the word indifference can sound kind of negative, like you just don't care. But in this case, it's like a superpower. It means you have zero emotional barriers. It's not about being reckless, it's about being emotionally neutral, totally objective. And that's the key to thinking clearly when the numbers get really, really big.
This really breaks it down into two different paths. On one side, you've got respect. That's where you're aware of what money is, you understand its function, and you see it as a tool. But on the other side, you've got emotional attachment, where you're just trapped thinking about what it buys, and that leads to all the anxiety, fear, and those barriers we've been talking about.
And just to be super clear about what we mean by respect here, we're not talking about putting money on a pedestal. It's just about being aware of what it is and what it does. You respect a hammer because it can drive a nail, right? You don't get all emotional about the hammer. It's the exact same idea.
Okay, so this all sounds good in theory, but how do you actually do it? Let's get practical. Let's talk about the philosophy of respect without attachment.
It really boils down to a three-step process to get this mindset. First, you have to reframe your thinking. Consciously see money as just a simple tool. Why? Because you have power over your tools. They don't have power over you. Second, constantly remind yourself its only job is to transact. That keeps you grounded in reality. And third, you have to actively work on reducing those emotional reactions. When you feel that greed or fear creep in, you notice it and you bring yourself back to being calm and objective. This is the work that builds that real financial strength.
So if there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. Respect money for what it does, but be completely indifferent to the amount. It doesn't matter if it's $20 or $20 million. Its basic nature as an inanimate tool never ever changes. So your calm, objective mindset shouldn't change either.
And that brings us to one last question for you to really think about. We've established pretty clearly that money has absolutely no opinion of you. It's totally indifferent. So the real question is, what should your opinion of it be?